Hello, welcome to In the Studio with Bryant Thompson. This is Bryant, producer, songwriter, musician, and engineer, inviting you to join me on a musical journey. This series takes you behind the scenes of recording sessions with many world-class musicians and gets into Q&As on a personal as well as a professional level. I hope you enjoy the video. Leave your comments below and be sure to subscribe and click for notifications. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, my name is Katie Belle. I am a recording artist from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm really excited to be here today. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia at Northside Hospital, which is actually in Sandy Springs, Georgia, but I claim Atlanta, so whenever anyone asks, I say Atlanta. I was raised in Marietta, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, about 30 minutes north of the city. And my childhood was fun. I mean, from what I can remember. I feel like the older I get by the day, I'm remembering less and less about, my early years. But my family, like my parents, really loved to travel. So I got the travel bug at a really young age because I was, exposed to it. We would go to church on Sundays, always spend holidays with our family. I have an older brother, so me and him are super close. I don't know, I had a great childhood because of him. He made things a lot more entertaining and fun for sure. So yeah, it was a great time. So my experience in school was interesting. I went to private school when I was in elementary school, public school when I was 2 years of middle school, and then homeschool from 8th grade to senior year from graduation. So I did all three, private, public, and homeschool. I got bullied in all of them except for homeschool because, I was by myself. But bullying started when I was in, probably 2nd grade. It was like the first time I ever got bullied. And it was okay when I was in elementary school. Like I was obviously being bullied, but it wasn't really anything I couldn't handle because kids just didn't have the capacity to be that mean to you at that young of an age. Like they would make fun of me and like do little digs, but it was nothing compared to like what I experienced when I was in middle school. My worst story that I have is one day I was in the locker room for gym and we were all putting our clothes back on. It was after PE, so we were getting ready to leave, and it was actually the last period of the day, so we were getting ready to hear the afternoon announcements and get on our buses and go home. There was like 5 super popular girls that ended up in my PE class, and they were all trying to sit in our gym lockers because they were pretty big. You could fit a big bag in there. I'm pretty small, so just imagine my size when I was in middle school. So I'm trying to be their friend. I come up to them, I'm like, I think I could probably fit in this locker. They're like, whatever, like you can try. So I was like, okay, like really trying to be their friend, trying so hard to be cool. And I got in this locker. And they're like, oh my God, she did it. And then I heard the door close. They had padlocked me in this PE locker and left. So it was the last period of the day. I was gonna miss my bus. My mom was my parents worked, I don't know. Sometimes they'd be home when I was getting home from school, sometimes they wouldn't be. So like my mom would probably be like, where is she? It was a God thing because there was one girl out of that whole 60 girls in the locker room. There's one girl in the very back using the restroom. And she heard me, like I was having an anxiety attack. I was freaking out, but I was locked in so I couldn't get out on my own and she got me out. So that was my most extreme, intense experience, but I got verbal bullied, cyber bullied, bullied by girls, bullied by boys, by teachers, and I think that the focal point of all of that at the end of the day really was because of my music and because of who I am. So yeah, that was not a so happy part of my childhood, but sure enough, it was real and it happened, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it didn't happen. So it's all good now. I'm okay. That's a really tough one because everyone copes with things differently. There's so many different kinds of bullying. There's just so many different scenarios. But I think my best general advice I could give is just count to 10 and get through it, you know? I know that self-harm is really common in situations when bullying gets really hard for people. I understand that, but it's not worth it. I never encourage the whole play the victim thing. Even if you are the victim, I was the victim, I totally understand, but it's not, you can't control how people treat you, but you can control how you react to it. So as long as you're being positive and you're staying in your lane and just tunnel vision, set goals, focus on things that take your mind off of it, you know, like just stay active, stay around people who do love you and who are supporting you and encouraging you and being kind, and, you know, find your friends, even if you just have one or two. Like, my friend circle is less than 5 people and I'm fine with it. And it's been that way. And when I was growing up, I was like, Mom, why don't I have any friends? And now nothing has really changed throughout the years. And I've realized why I don't have many friends. It's because I'm so picky, which is fine. But you know, all you really even need is one person to be on your side, and I promise you that you'll get through it. I know it seems really bad, but if I can do it, you can do it. So I was on an anti-bullying tour for basically my high school year, like my high school experience. That was like my high school. I started when I was a freshman, before I had even turned 15. I was 14 years old, traveling the country. My mom was with me still during that point of time, and once I turned 17, she started letting me travel by myself. But this was an anti-bullying tour. We basically traveled city to city, state to state, smaller cities, because, you know, we felt bad for the underdogs. All the big cities and states get attention, and, you know, no one cares about the little guys. So we would definitely go to lots of smaller cities and middle schools, high schools, elementary schools. We would talk to the kids about bullying. There was about 5 to 7 artists, solo artists, on tour at a time. And we would kind of jump on and off, you know. And we all became really, really close friends, and that was great. But the whole point of the tour was for us to share our personal experiences with bullying and to sing for the kids and be like, all this horrible stuff happened to us, this, that, whatever, but now here we are. So if we can do it, you can do it too. So it was very like, raise awareness for bullying. If you see it happening, like, it's not a cool thing, tell a teacher, stick up for your friend, tell someone about it. To, you know, if you are being bullied, stand up for yourself, but above that, don't be afraid. Like, continue to live your life and don't let that kind of fog your vision on your goals and all the things you want to achieve, because I always say that haters are confused admirers. That's a Justin Bieber quote, but it's so true. And that's what bullies are. They're insecure. They're obsessed with you. They really are. And so they're so obsessed with you, and they don't want you to do well, so all they can do is be mean. And so honestly, if you're being bullied, it's a compliment. So yeah, the tour was a great thing, and it was such a amazing experience to get to meet so many kids and listen to their stories and just, I don't know, be that person for them for just even a few hours of the day, you know? It was awesome. I'm very proud of that. Oh my God, the kids thought we were rock stars. They were obsessed with us. And I still have, half of my social media followers are from tour. I did the tour obviously because of bullying and everything that I just needed to say. But along with that did come a lot of my following, which I'm grateful for. And yeah, they've stuck around. They really, really related to us, and they enjoyed the music we would sing. We would sing original songs, we would sing covers, we would dance with them. like throw stuff in the audience, like t-shirts and our wristbands and stuff. Like, they loved us and we loved them. It was so cool. Such a blessing to be able to experience that, especially at such a young age. Some of my hobbies, the friends I do have, I love hanging out with them. I love my friends. We're always trying to get into something, trying to finesse a little weekend vacation, like, where are the boys at tonight? We're always getting into trouble. I love my friends. So they're a huge part of my life outside of music. And even in music, you know, they're always reposting my stuff, you know, giving me love and support. So I love my friends. I'm from Georgia, obviously, so I'm a real big outdoors girl. I know that I don't really look like it, but I love to fish, I love to hike, I love to go on runs outside, especially in the fall when the leaves are changing. I love to travel. Like, coincidentally, I do a lot of that for work, so I get lucky. I get to go a lot of cool places for work. So that's awesome, but I also love to travel when it's not for work. I love to go shopping. I love to go on drives. I love to just drive and like listen to music and find new artists and just kind of like be by myself. And honestly, even when I'm not doing music, I'm doing music. I'll be driving and a line will come in my head and I'll have to pull over and write it down because it's a great, you know, lyric for a song, or I'm constantly listening to music. I told you earlier that the worst thing ever is when you turn on your speaker and it's dead. Like, music is my life, even when I'm not doing it for work. So yeah, that's what I do when I'm not doing this, I guess. I do like sports. I love sports. I love going to games in person. I'm not a huge TV sports girl, because just the atmosphere when you're there is just so like energetic. How can you not have a good time? Everyone's lit, you know, like hot dogs. I love hot dogs. So like hot dogs are there. Like, I don't know. I love watching sports live. So fun. Basketball games are probably my favorite. But football is my favorite sport. Baseball games are fun, but they can get boring. They can go on for so long. But I've dated a few baseball players, so I really shouldn't say that. But yeah, I love sports. I don't play them. I'm no good at them. I'm a pretty fast runner, and I can throw the football pretty well, like catch, like no two-hand touch or anything like that, like just catch. But yeah, I like sports. They're cool. I grew up with a brother, so I didn't really have a choice. I mean, any Atlanta team. I know that like we're either really good or we're really bad. I don't care. Like, I'm not a bandwagon fan. I love my Hawks, or I love my Falcons. Love my Falcons. And Atlanta United, the Braves, yeah, love Atlanta. Do I have a favorite movie? Oh my God. I really love the movie Troy, because it's like a little bit of romance, a little bit of action. All of the actors in it are amazing. Like, Orlando Bloom is in that. Brad Pitt is in it. Like, really, really great actors. So I love Troy. I'm all about like action and a little bit of like spice, you know? But I love Pirates of the Caribbean because for the most part, all of the places that was filmed, I've been there before, because I've always loved it growing up. So then when we would travel down like to the Caribbean on a cruise or something, my mom would like take us to the places. She'd be like, oh my God, I think this is where they shot this. So like, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love Peter Pan. I don't know, I love funny movies. Will Ferrell cracks me up. I love Will Ferrell. There's the list of movies that I don't like is definitely shorter than the list of movies that I do like. So I like a lot of movies. My favorite book is probably Looking for Alaska by John Green, and that's kind of more of a girly book. But it just like, his words are so good. The way he his quotes in that book are just really, really good. And that's a book I could reread a million times and catch something different every time I read it. It's just so beautifully written. It inspires me. It makes me want to be a better woman. I don't know. I love the way it makes me feel. So Looking for Alaska by John Green is a great book. That's my favorite. My favorite TV show? This show isn't on TV anymore. It wasn't canceled. It just, ran its course. Gossip Girl. I probably watched it 4 times, and there's like 10 seasons, so yeah. My favorite food? Right now, I'm going through an Asian food stage, like Japanese or Chinese. I don't really care, either one. I love Italian food too, though, and seafood, and steak, like bacon and steak. Yes. It really depends on my mood, but if I had to pick one, home for sure. I would way rather be laid up with, good friends or like someone that I love and like be home, so. The city that I enjoy the most? I love New York. I love New York because I've been going up there for a few years now, and I think I love it so much because I've been going up there for a few years. I know my way around. And so I know my way around, and now I'm just starting to make friends up there. So then when I go up there, it's like a second home, which I really like because, I like to stay in. Even though I like to travel, you always want comfort with you. So I like New York for that reason, but I would die for Miami. Like, I love Miami. I don't know, I just love it. I feel like I'm out of the country, but like I'm not, I'm in the States, so I love Miami. But I have to be honest, I've never traveled to Europe, and I really think that these answers will change when I travel to Europe. But New York, Miami, and like LA, so. I don't really think I was an age. I think this happened when I was a fetus. I don't know, I came out the womb, I was like, yo, what is up? Like, let's make music. Apparently I was singing before I could talk, so it wasn't really a choice that I made, it was just in my blood, I guess. My mom was like a wedding singer, and then she sang in like church choir, and I love my mom, she's super talented, but I didn't get my voice from her, okay? I don't know where it came from. My grandma and her brother, so my grandma and my great uncle, both played piano, but they were taught how to play. And like neither of them had pianos in their homes, so like I was never around piano, like hearing it or anything like that. So I don't really know, because I play it by ear, so I don't really know where that came from. And I like to say it was from my grandma and her brother, but I mean, they took lots of years of lessons, so that wasn't really like a natural ability that I got generically from a family member. I don't know, I think that God chose me to be a singer. He chooses, everyone has a purpose, and I think that my purpose was music, and it doesn't always have to be in the genetics, So, when I was really young, when I was 10, I wanted to be a professional singer. I didn't want to sing in choir. I didn't want to sing at a school play. I wanted to be front and center, real deal. So I convinced my mom to let me audition for this big talent competition that happened every year down in Orlando, Florida by Disney World. I got through my audition, they accepted me, so then I had to train. But with this this competition was really for acting and modeling. Singing was like an extra thing you could do, but I wanted to be a singer, so that's what I was most focused on. But I couldn't participate unless I did acting too. I had to do like a 30-second commercial or something. So I was forced to do it, which is fine. I did it. And for the longest time, I hated acting. I was just like, oh, this is just so weird. Like, this just isn't my thing, you know? And then as I got older, doing music videos and whatever, acting just became a lot more natural, and I appreciated it more. So that's kind of how acting started, which was very parallel with my music. And modeling, also when I was a little girl, younger than 10, before this talent competition, we would go to the 4th of July parade in Marietta Square, and there'd be beauty queens in the car waving at everyone, throwing candy, their crown on. And I was like, Mom, I'm a princess, like I need to do that. so that's where modeling kind of started. I think I didn't win my first 2 pageants, and then my 3rd one I won. And it was Little Miss Marietta, which was like the biggest title I had even tried out for at that point in time. So I won that, and then I did the pageant circuit for I think 2 years, and then I just had kind of won everything, and I just like got bored. I won everything I was gonna win. Let me just put it that way. I didn't win everything, but and that kind of trickled into me just wanting to do photo shoots for fun. And then I got a little older, I got a little taller. People were asking me to model for them, and then that was a very organic thing. That just kind of, I didn't have anything to do with that. That just really kind of did its thing on its own. But I mean, once it picked up, you know, I go to New York Fashion Week every season, which is twice a year. I've done New Orleans Fashion Week. I didn't do it this year, but I've done it the past 2 or 3 years. So now I'm in it and doing it on purpose. But when it first started, it was just total luck. I don't know, luck of the draw. So yeah, it just all fell into place. I always tell people I either want it all or I want nothing. If I wouldn't be in music and decided not to be, I would literally probably be a surfer in Hawaii living in a shack. Like, I don't care. It's either that, like for real, I would live on an island. I don't know if like surfing would be my occupation. Like maybe I'd have a smoothie bar, I don't know. But I would definitely be on an island. Or I would be some kind of, I could never be a vet because I can't handle like animals in pain, but I would be like I don't know, I'd work at like a dog shelter or something, or like with horses, like, I don't know, maybe have a farm. I love animals. So if it's not gonna be all of the lights and cameras, then it's gonna be the country or an island. So that's all I have to say about that. Oh my gosh, asking me what a dream car is like asking me what my favorite song is, which is like asking a mom who her favorite child is. Like, do you know what kind of ridiculous question this is? My dream car, okay, realistically, like for a daily driver, probably it would range between a G-Wagon or a Bentley. Is a Bentley a daily driver? Would you consider that a daily driver? It would probably be a really, really nice Mercedes of some kind, like all black, like something super sleek and just like, wow. But like dream, like race car, like super sports car, probably a Lamborghini Gallardo or a Ferrari Italia or a 458, I don't know. I've never driven any of these cars, so I feel like I've driven a Mercedes, but I haven't driven like sports cars. So I feel like that answer might change when I get to test drive one. So, but for now, Lamborghini and a Mercedes. Couldn't tell you albums, but my favorite artists are Black, like 6 Lack, you know, but Black. Drake. Oh my God, I would die for Drake. When Drake came to Atlanta for his Scorpion, like him and Migos tour, I went and saw him all 3 nights. I snuck in all 3 nights because that's how much I love him. And like I had no business being there for 3 nights. Like I was dead. I think I slept for a week after that. Like, but I had to see him. I'm a huge fan of Rihanna. Love Rihanna. Would die for her too, honestly. Yeah. Love her. Love Jhené Aiko. I love my country girls too. I love Maren Morris. I love Casey Musgraves, Carrie Underwood, Dolly Parton. Of course, I'm a fan of Beyonce. Who isn't? Let me think. Oh, love Fleetwood Mac. I'm a huge classic rock fan. Love Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. Love Bob Dylan. I like the Beatles. I love everything. I love music. So the only thing I don't listen to is like death metal. And that's about it. Favorite actor, honestly, this is really sad. I don't like saying this, but my favorite actor was Paul Walker, and I miss him. And I'm really, really sad all the time when I watch a movie with him in it. I love him. And favorite model, I mean, honestly, I'm a huge fan of Gigi Hadid. I know that's like pretty common for anyone watching who's like familiar with models. I love Gigi Hadid, but I always had a thing for Adriana Lima, but she's getting a little older now. I feel like she's gonna retire soon-ish. She's not like a young model, but she's a legend. Like, I love her. She's amazing. Some of my inspirations, my mom. My mom is a huge inspiration. She just like is so selfless. And it's funny because she'll just go and do all these things for so many people. And then you'll ask her like, can you pass me that? And she'll be like, no. Like, she's like, you catch her at the wrong time. If you're just 1 second off. But other than that, she's just like super selfless and the hardest working person I know. Not even female, but just like person. She just is always encouraging me to do right by people in business and just, you know, if there's a problem, talk about it. Like, don't just end on bad terms. Like, she's incredible. I'm so blessed. She's my biggest inspiration.